So, guys, while the comrades are shouting transformation agenda, the people on the ground continue to lose their jobs. And I must say that I find it quite strange that this transformation agenda policy of the comrades, it has been paraded as something that is going to be beneficial to the people of this country. But on the ground, the total opposite is actually happening. And we did say that this so-called transformation agenda of the comrades is going to do nothing but to cost people their jobs. I don't think that there are any business people that are willing to be instructed by the comrades to implement quotas in their own companies. We told them that these quotas that you guys want to force companies to abide by are going to force people to lose their jobs. You remember that the comrades are going around celebrating the employment equity policy because this policy forces companies to push in a few black people in the positions of power. This policy forces companies to push in women and people of disabilities in the positions of power. And the comrades have already told the companies that, guys, if you have over 50 people and you cannot comply with these quotas, then you are not going to be able to do the business with the state. So this is an ultimatum that the comrades has said for the business in this country, that, guys, if you want to do business with the state, you need to make sure that you comply by these policies, by these quotas. And every year we're gonna need a report from you guys telling us how many black people have you hired in the positions of power, how many women, how many people with the disabilities have you hired in the positions of power. And this is a mess. This is a mess because what is happening in this country is that you see a government that is not actually pushing for the people to have their own businesses and actually thrive, which is what this thing is supposed to be about. It is supposed to be about empowering the people so that the people can open their own businesses and thrive. And if you can actually create a space where people can open their businesses and thrive, then more people are gonna get employed. It actually makes sense that way. But instead of that, the comrades have decided to target the companies that we already have in this country. And we told them that some of these companies are gonna scale down. They're gonna say that, guys, we need to get rid of some of the people that we have in our ranks because now the comrades are coming after us. And some of these companies are going to leave because I don't think that there are any business owners that are willing to be instructed by the comrades, and the same comrades that are failing to keep their affairs in order in government coming into their business space and starting to tell them how to conduct their business. If I was a business owner too, I would not actually appreciate these people in government that are totally failing to do their jobs to tell me how to do my job. I do my job. I hire the people here. I take the losses. We know what is happening in this country. We pay the taxes. So you don't have to come to us and tell us what needs to happen. But somehow the comrades have managed to uh, demonize the businesses and the business owners and to make South Africans think that no, these companies simply want to keep white people in the positions of power. They don't want us to get into the positions of power. People are not having conversation about what is it that the government is actually doing to ensure that we have the business too. People are not talking about that. People are not talking about the fact that the comrades, instead of focusing on this huge unemployment issue that we are facing, they are busy running after the companies that are doing their best to hire the people in this country, because this thing doesn't make any sense. For the comrades to say that this thing is something that is supposed to be celebrated, it does not make any sense at all, because even if you can force all the companies in this country to push in few black people in the positions of power, if you can force these companies to push in few women and people with disabilities in the positions of power, it is not going to do anything to change what is happening on the ground. Because what is happening on the ground is that majority of the people on the ground, they are unemployed. So how are these people going to be employed? Whereas you are already antagonizing companies with these racist quotas that you have already placed on them. How? the companies the companies in this country, there is no incentive for the companies in this country to actually to scale up. There is no incentive for that. There is no incentive for that, and it looks like it's getting harder and harder for the investors to come and invest in South Africa. It's getting harder and harder for the businesses to continue operating in this country. And what happens as a result of that? The people on the ground are the ones that are losing their jobs. This is what happens, because if you take the executives of these companies, these people are already multimillionaires. They are already multi-billionaires, and they can take their money and invest somewhere else and continue to make money. They will always be fine. But as for the people that are working for these companies, we cannot say the same about these people. And these are the most vulnerable people that needs to be protected. But it looks like it is not the case right here. The vulnerable people are not the ones that are protected, but if anything, their jobs are being put on the line. And simply because the comrades wants to go around and saying that we have implemented transformation policies in this country. Absolute madness, guys. Absolute madness. So yesterday, I actually saw a very disturbing story about our largest metal company in the country, ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal is also closing shops, and about 4,000 people they will be losing their jobs. 4,000 jobs are on the line. 4,000 jobs. And guys, when we say 4,000 jobs, we are not just talking about jobs. We are talking about people here. We are talking about families here that are going to suffer. This is what we are talking about. Because sometimes when we do these reportings and the statistics and the numbers, sometimes it can just sound as if it is just the numbers. But at the end of the day, these are people's livelihoods that we are talking about. I mean, like, you can just think about the impact that this whole thing is going to have on the families in this country. You can just think about what the families are going to go through. But anyway, the comrades continue to do as they please. So this is what is happening, guys. And I must say that it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad because these are just some of the things that are underreported. And I think right now, as South Africans, we have actually reached a stage where some of these things are starting to sound as a norm, and they should not be. We should not actually allow a situation where people losing their jobs actually becomes a norm. But this is what is happening in this country right now. It's almost as if we are numb to the pain. This is what is happening, and it's quite sad, man. It's quite sad. I'm thinking about 4,000 people, 4,000 families. How many people are gonna be impacted by this thing? It is a mess. It is a mess, and sadly, it looks like there is no contingency plan from our government to actually stop what is happening to continue happening in this country. The companies are complaining that no, there is no electricity in this country, there is no water, the taxes are too high. The comrades are coming to us with the quotas, man. It is quite impossible to operate a business in South Africa. It is quite impossible. So it's sad, man. It is sad. I don't want to lie.
Africa's largest steel producer, ArcelorMittal, is pulling the plug on its long steel business and taking thousands of jobs along with it. It says talks with government have failed to resolve long-standing structural problems, including rising imports, limited tariff protection, high electricity costs, and a dysfunctional rail system. The retrenchment process will affect more than 3,500 jobs initially projected.
And I'm sure that this company took massive losses because of the trains not moving. You can just imagine a company that is dealing with steel having to deal with the fact that the trains are not moving and the railway system has been damaged and nothing was done to actually stop some of these people from destroying the railway system, because we know sometimes these comrades, man, they have allowed a situation where the railway systems can be destroyed so that they can push in their own trucks. This is what these people have been doing, that okay, the trains are not moving, but we have our own trucks. And these people are the same people that are doing business with the state. They are in the government and they are doing business with the state. Conflict of interest, but somehow it is not something that is worth to be discussed by the comrades. So now, the companies that are employing people, they are looking somewhere else. They are looking somewhere else. But I guess, in the words of Mahlengi Bengumutsire, the spokesperson of the ANC, these people can go and invest in India. You remember, on Mike Shem, I always forget, man, to prepare that video. You remember on Mike Shem, Hlengiwe telling the the businesses in this country that, guys, if you are not going to comply with some of our quotas, then you can go and invest in India. And it looks like the companies have finally decided to listen to the spokesperson of the ANC and take their money somewhere else.
Africa's largest steel producer, ArcelorMittal, is pulling the plug on its long steel business and taking thousands of jobs along with it. It says talks with government have failed to resolve long-standing structural problems, including rising imports, limited tariff protection, high electricity costs, and a dysfunctional rail system. The retrenchment process will affect more than 3,500 jobs initially projected.
There's little that we can do because we're obviously hoping that the national will be able to help through the IDC, and I think it had done so in the past few months. But it's clear that maybe whatever that they were offering was not enough. So it's a very, very sad state, because already here in our municipality we are already seated at more than 52% unemployment. So these extra jobs that are being lost, it's very depressing.
South Africa's
As long as the comrades continued with their policies, I guess it is whatever. As long as the comrades continue with their policies. And what is more disturbing is how these people don't have any regard for these jobs that have been lost. I don't see the comrades actually being serious about the fact that people are losing their jobs in mass in this country. I don't see. It's almost as if to them they don't care as long as they can stand on podium and say that we have implemented such and such policies. We don't care about the consequences that comes with that. We don't care about the consequences that comes with that. This is the attitude that we've been getting from the comrades. So, guys, I think it is said. I think it is said, and I think with the implementation of the Employment Equity Act, things are still gonna be bad, man. Things are still gonna be bad. They're gonna be bad. What are your thoughts, guys? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabel, so I will see you next time. Bye bye.